Hi, thanks for joining in for another 5 minutes in Philippians. I hope you've gotten a chance to watch the intro and the first few verses of chapter 1 in First Philippians. If not, go check it out now. Today we're going to end chapter 1. There's a lot of verses. I'm not going to talk about all of it, but we're going to hit a couple of good points that I think are really interesting. So starting Philippians 1 verse 12, now I want you to know, brothers, that what has happened to me has really served to advance the gospel. As a result, it has become clear throughout the whole palace guard and to everyone else that I am in chains for Christ. And because of my change, most of the brothers in the Lord have been encouraged to speak the word of God more courageously and fearlessly. Man, that's just really incredible that Paul somehow is able to have perspective in this moment. He's been arrested, he's in chains, he's under house arrest, is about to undergo trial, and he changes his perspective on where he's at and what he's going through. And I think that's what a lot of us need right now. We need to think about where we are, and sometimes it just takes thinking about the perspective, changing that perspective a little bit. If we can shift that perspective, change that perspective to see the opportunities in the middle of the circumstances we're in, then what does that do for us? How do we look at the moments that we're in and look at them as moments for connection and attachment, instead of being stuck in our homes with our families, right? How do we look at them as opportunities to invest in our kids, invest in our spouse? How do we look at them as opportunities to slow down, to recognize maybe the pace we were running at wasn't that great for us in the first place? And so changing those perspectives is just a really powerful way to think about where we are and what we're doing and the circumstances that we're in. I'm going to skip ahead, skip past a few verses and go down to Philippians 1 verse 27. Whatever happens, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ. And then, whether I come and see you or only hear about you in my absence, I will know that you stand firm in one spirit, contending as one man for the faith of the gospel, without being frightened in any way by those who oppose you. This is a sign to them that they will be destroyed, but that you will be saved, and that by God. For it has been granted to you on behalf of Christ not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for him, since you are going through the same struggle you saw I had, and now hear that I still have. And so Paul has this perspective of no matter what happens to me, no matter what happens to you, I want you to continue. And that even in my absence, that you would continue in this faith. And that you wouldn't live in fear, being afraid, but that you would use this opportunity to be an example, to really show that you have a faith and a confidence and a trust in Jesus. That's what sustains you, right? And what's amazing about this moment is that we have that opportunity as a church for all of us to demonstrate and show this faith, all out in our communities, spread across our communities, that it's not the faith that we have when we gather together. It's the faith that we have when we're separated that shows the true faith of who we are. And it's also a faith that doesn't live in fear, that doesn't live afraid of what might happen. Because Paul, just earlier in verse 21, this very famous verse, Paul says, "For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain." Paul knows that even if he suffers for the gospel and dies, he's going to heaven and he's going to see Christ. But in this moment, what he has the opportunity to do is to live for Christ, to serve Christ, to show who Christ is to those around him, to those he's in contact with. And that's the opportunity that we have, to show Christ in every neighborhood, in every family, in every situation that we're in right now, to be able to demonstrate who Christ is and not live in fear, but live in faith that God has it all under control. I hope you're encouraged. I hope you're reading through Philippians and finding it a book of joy and faith and encouragement. Be blessed and have a great day.